What's up guys, Andy, Forest Team Runner here, and we are at the Swindon Half Marathon this morning. We're here super early. It is just coming up to 8 o'clock and we thankfully got a lift in because Lee is running it with me today. He decided to come and do the race ahead. I'm on the day entries, which is wicked, so we're going to have a partner in crime. Today we're going for it. Today we're going to hopefully get that sub 120 that we've been shooting for a long time. So we're literally just at packet pickup. We've got Lee's number. We're going to head back to the car, get our gels, belts and all that good stuff ready, and then walk back down to the start line. We have a cameraman today, hopefully, Lee's son, Logan. Say hello.
Hello.
So he might get a little bit of footage of us at the start and finish, which would be awesome. Other than that, you'll be going in the bag, so I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so the weapon of choice today is the Hoka Rincons. I thought we'd give them a bash out on the half marathon today. Been so good in training, why not ditch the carbon plate shoes and see how these things do. So me and Lee are just warming up, just running around the County Ground Stadium here in Swindon. Just getting 10 minutes done, nice and easy, get the legs shaped out after an hour car drive. We'll see how we do today. Wish us luck. You'll go in the bag and we will see you on the other side. So there we go guys, Swindon Half Marathon done and dusted. Look at that little beauty. That's a good one, isn't it? So just before we dive into how the race went itself, just a massive thank you for all your support in the training series. As I said on the thank you video and the final week 6 video yesterday, put some awesome comments. You're all amazing, thank you so much. A massive thanks to Lee's family, Lee, Linda and the kids. They took me there, which was great. It really helps being taken to a race because it just means you can rest afterwards. And thanks for taking me to McDonald's afterwards, that was wicked. And a massive thanks to everyone at the Swindon for putting on another incredible event. It is such a good half marathon, I absolutely love it. Bar the hill at the end, which took the sting out of things for me and I think unfortunately prevented me from getting that elusive sub 80. It was such a great event. And a massive thank you to Gail and Claire for seeing both of you out there today. That was awesome, so thanks for waving and shouting hi. Let's dive in. We got a PB, 1:20:31. Absolutely delighted. That is a 1:20:44 was my last PB, or 48, so that was like a 13-second PB. Really happy, to be honest with you. The only downside, which we'll get into, is stitch issues were there pretty much from the gun. I was walking back to and from the car and I was getting a bit of a stitch. It was just kind of like, it's going to be one of those days, and the stitch was my downfall in the Swindon half last year. So I couldn't go, it's not that I couldn't go as fast as I wanted to, but I had to keep it as chilled out as possible because my breathing, I had to do the type of breathing. It's something I've learned when I get stitches, is that I just need to breathe properly, breathe through the diaphragm, not do a lot of chest breathing, and just kind of keep that stitch at bay. And for me, to be honest with you, that does help keep it at bay. It never completely goes, but it keeps it at bay long enough for me to continue at the pace I'm at, but I can never push it from there. And unfortunately that kind of set in a little bit more at sort of like mile 10, and by the time I hit the bottom of the hill, because my form had started to go because of my stitch and I was rocking and rolling a little bit, it kind of took the sting out of the tail. I could see I was holding Lee up a bit, but we'll come to that in a bit. So basically the gun went off. Last year I went off at 5:48 mile pace, completely blew up by mile 6. Today we went off more sensibly, 6 minute pace. I put all the splits on screen. We ran a 6 minute, 6:07, 6:09, 6:03, 6:06, and a 6:07, for those of you who know, is a 1:20 paced half marathon, so I was keeping it exactly where I wanted it to be. But there are some occasions in that period, in the first 5 miles, I kept looking at Lee going, this is hard. I didn't quite feel as good as I wanted to feel on the day, if I'm completely honest with you. I was ready, the taper was great, the legs felt good. The kids have been harbouring a cold all week. My throat is going, and you might be able to hear. My throat had completely gone by the time, because I was trying to talk to people over the loud music at the start. So I was kind of like, I didn't quite have the energy that I wanted to have. However, the miles were ticking off. I wasn't looking at the watch. Only when the mile splits went off, I was just going, okay, cool. I wasn't making a big deal out of it. And me and Lee, we just sensibly clicked into gear and ran. And it was great because we sat back and we picked off runners one by one, which is a great feeling because it's such a good confidence boost. It's always good to work your way through a pack. There were some great runners in front of us that we were picking off slowly but surely. We were overtaken only a couple of times probably in the whole race. And we took over a lot of people, which is awesome. So we got to kind of I'm looking at my splits here. Mile 6, again, we hit 6:07, that was fantastic. And at mile 7, just before mile 7 hit, really funny because I said to Lee, that's taken it out of me. And that's a bit where we'll weave in and out of some twisty turny bits. And we clocked to 5:52. I don't know if GPS was playing funny buggers at that point, because the next mile 8 was 6:19. And we were running no faster or slower, so I don't know if it was evening itself out there. I don't know. It did it in my mile splits last year. I remember running a quick mile at that point and then a really slow one, and that really knocked my confidence last year. But this year I kind of remember that. I thought, it must have just been balancing itself out. So I felt really good at that point. Saw Claire at that point. So Claire, thank you for waving. Really appreciate it. It was great to see you. And then after that we clocked back a 6:02 at mile 9, thinking happy days. We're back in it. But it was beginning to get a bit of a grind. I was really starting to suffer, ripped the gel open at that point. We hit the gel mile 56 minutes in or 55 minutes in or something like that. Felt really good, hit the gel. But then at mile 10, that's really when the stitch issues hit in. We clocked to 6:19, we were approaching the hill. I could tell I was slowing a little bit. Really unfortunate because I really didn't want to slow at that point. But we slowed and then we hit the base of the hill. Bless him, Lee was coming with me. We started to climb up this mile and a bit hill at the end, and I could see again exactly, it was Severn Bridge all over again. He was 2 or 3 steps in front of me, kept turning around. I was like, mate, go, you've got it in you. The stitch has taken hold of me. I need to just control my breathing, get things under control and go again. So Lee pressed on, and massive kudos to Lee. 1:19:43 44, absolutely incredible. So well done, mate, you did fantastic today. So proud of you. All the training we've done has led up to this, and you know, he's running Cardiff Half in 2 weeks. That's going to take the pressure off. He can go there, pound flat course and smash it. So he kicked on, and it was really funny because about 30 seconds after he kicked on up the hill, my legs just came back to life. The stitch went and I could kick on, and I felt really good. I then took a couple of people up the hill that had passed me, which was great, so I retook up back over them. I just kept a steady pace, and I remember at that point all I was thinking in my head was, you ran a 7:40 mile here because you were walking and running up the hill and doing really badly. And I clocked to 6:50, so I was 6:52, so I was really happy at this point, thinking okay. And I hadn't looked at my average pace the whole race, and the second that mile went off, you get to the top of the hill about mile 12.25, and then you hit a big long downhill. It's a downhill to the finish basically. And I looked at my average pace and I knew I had to get 6:07, sub 6:07 to go sub 1:20. Well, at that moment in time, my watch was saying 6:13, and I thought a 6:14 is a 1:21. You've got a downhill, so you can 100% get a 1:20, which is exactly, from the start of this training series, exactly where you wanted to be. Back to 1:20 shape, that's all I've said, that's all I've wanted. I'd love to have gone sub 80, it didn't happen, but 1:20 is where I wanted to be at. So I thought, right, I feel really good again, the legs have come back to life, put the flipping hammer down. So I flew down the hill, 5:54 mile, came down the hill, round the corner, I could see the finish straight. Finished straight, looked at my watch, 1:19:15, and it was quite a long way to the finish. I thought, you can do this, you can get a PB. So I just put the hammer down. I heard Linda shouting, Lee's wife, and I was like, right, this is it, this is the time, you're going to get a PB, just go for it. And we crossed the line in 1:20:31, which I was just so over the moon with, couldn't believe it, really, really happy. And that kind of wrapped up exactly an incredible day. The weather was not particularly nice. It started raining as soon as we started. It was just one of those days where I thought to myself in the first couple of miles, nah, it's not going to be my day. I've hyped this up. I said I'm going to go So at mile 2 I was questioning everything, wondering if it was going to be my day, and in the end, if it wasn't for Lee, I wouldn't have been able to run that time. He carried me through. We ran strong together, we ran really, and I'm so pleased that we both got a PB. All the hard work's paid off, everything has clicked into place, and I couldn't thank each and every one of you enough for your support. You're awesome. So there we go, we've ended this 6-week half marathon training series with a PB, over the moon. Now Abingdon Marathon, 4 weeks time. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great one. So thank you so much for supporting the channel. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then.